Now, with Iguanodon, its play style is more defensive, but when played offensively, it can pretty much handle the entire roster, but it's ability dependent. It's all ability dependent. But in those situations where it lines up for you, you can pretty much take on every dinosaur in the game, no problem. From Apex to like 1-slots, no problem. Ever get in a fight and a baby shows up and then, the adult starts, running away? Good motivator, go for the baby. Always go for the baby. Always make sure you take them out too. They can be a pain in the ass to deal with if you're low. Always go for the baby. They say this is a survival game. Sometimes this game can be a horror game. Where did this Rex come from? I have no idea. Jump scared the crap out of me. Nearly dropped my controller. Very surprised he didn't continue. He got off the bone break and everything. I mean, I would have continued myself, honestly. But I guess he must have thought I still had a lot of stamina left. Joke's on him. I didn't have any stam at all. Oh, gosh. And if he was running Shatter Stride, I probably would have been dead too. Live to see another day. Live to see another day. Ever run into a player like this? I find it happens to me a bit too often nowadays. I think it's becoming very increasing, actually. I don't like it. The confidence on this guy is, great. It's great. I like that. I need you to come out more. I don't need you near the water. I need you more inland so we can do this fight. I'm not doing this fight near the water's edge. That was my thought process the entire time. So first half, I'm just trying to bring him out some more. Oh yeah, this hat's an idiot, I swear. Ever since hats got nerfed, some hats players have lost their brain cells. What was that? Oh gosh. Yeah. The thought process behind what I'm doing here, though, I'm trying to bring this Spino out on land more, because I know if you're semi-aquatic, you're just very comfortable being near the water. So I want to get him out of his comfort zone, bring him out on land. And first mistake he makes here cost him the rest of the fight. I'll let you guys watch. This is why I didn't want to fight near the water. I should have brought him out a lot further, but whatever. All that confidence gone. Gone. Where all that confidence go, man? What ensues for the next couple of minutes is just, me being like, you gotta come finish this fight, man. You can't just sit next to the water's edge. Through calling and all that good stuff. You can even see, like, when I do that, when I use Iggy's thumb barrage, I'm like, come on, man, could you come out of the water? I did contemplate, like, saying, hey, man, you gotta come finish this fight, but I type really, really slow on PlayStation, so it was basically no point of me, trying to type anything, and I typically don't really type all that much in global either, unless, I'm being addressed, but even then, that doesn't even happen, so Now I'm trying to use, distancing to my advantage, bring him out a lot further than I did last time. And in typical official fashion, we have a party. Ramph is a very interesting choice for a TLC. Not something that I thought would, be priority, but very interesting nonetheless. The buffs that it gives you, really nice. Debuffs, please throw it away. Please throw it away. Please, nerf it. Something. I can't play Rex, Titan. I can't play those if that's, what's gonna be going on with the debuffs, because poison, venom, and toxin, give that to Meg, not Ramph. I can go on and on that, but yeah, that's I don't know, that's ridiculous in my eyes. Shout out to this random Ramph that was like, hey, need a buff? I don't like visiting Grand Plains all that often, just due to the fact that I like traversing the map a lot more than staying in one place for about, hours at a time. I'm not sure how a lot of players do that, but I don't like doing so. Here, I could have played this a lot better. I get off this first block perfectly because the duck pauses and I'm like, oh, he's probably thinking about it, and then he goes for it. Here is where I messed up. Instead of turning and facing and blocking claw attack and then using retaliate and hero stance, I decided to try to give myself a little bit more spacing to see what's around, to see what else I'm going to be facing, because it's Grand Plains, you're probably going to be facing a mixed bag. But instead of doing that, I just decided to run, just because it's like an instinct thing for me. Is just like, oh shit, I'm probably gonna get ganked now, and I do. I try to help this Amarg as best as I can, but I I missed that first charge, as you saw. This Amarg is doing a great job, and then like this Sarah is just slowing me down with bone break, and then Duck sees an opportunity, takes that chance. I could have did a lot better, but you live and you learn. So I decided to change Iguanodon's subspecies to the 10% increased quadrupedal damage subspecies, just due to the fact that a lot of its abilities require quadrupedal, or are considered quadrupedal, and Iguanodon already hits pretty hard. An extra 10% is great. Now with the ability quadrupedal, you get another 20%, 30% extra damage is even better. So putting that all together, you got one heck of a menace to deal with. This conch did a pretty good number on me so far, but he makes a very, 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 very trivial mistake here. Don't sit down too close to your opponent, because you can have this happen. Always give yourself enough distance away from your opponent before regaining stam, health, one of those two. Always give yourself enough distance, because you don't want it to end up like this. The first half of this fight, I did quite well for myself. Majority of the, playables that you see here are about half and lower, except the hats because, it's hats. I did quite well. The only problem I have is that I didn't position myself appropriately. I should have did like a cliff or something in order to better position myself, or stay near the water's edge in order to better my chances of survival. But honestly, with the amount of people that's here, I don't think it would have turned out any other way, honestly. To those that don't know, anytime you hear this noise, give yourself some distance from whatever the ramp rank is latched onto, because it's got 20% extra damage, and that hurts, especially from another Iguanodon. So if it's running Retaliate and Hero Stance, that's not a nice experience to go up against. You know, it's quite surprising how a lot of players are very unaware of their surroundings. That could have been avoided had they had been paying attention, or at least been listening to their surroundings. I'm always wearing a headset, so I try to keep my head on a swivel all the time, because you never know who's watching. That right there is just bad parenting. I mean, you just let your baby die like that, man? Crazy. Couldn't be me, couldn't be me. I'd full send. I mean, that's what I wanted him to do, honestly, but he just decided to keep his distance, trying to use bleed to his advantage, which is smart. Baby Titan didn't do the smart thing, which would be to hide and keep out of the fight, but, you know, it is what it is. So a bit of a look into my mindset here. I hear another pair of footsteps. I'm like, okay, the baby must have came back on something else. I gotta leave because, you know, I don't want to get, you know, ganked. I don't know what he's coming back on. And it's not the baby. It's something else. First rule of officials is never to trust anyone, especially if you're low. I mean, especially if you're low. I don't know how many times I've seen people just trust someone else to sit by them so they can heal, and they just get absolutely demolished because they put their trust into someone who was like, hey, I'll watch your back for you. Nah, bruh. Nah, not happening. I mean, when I heard this, the Titan dying, I was like, I thought that was the baby. What happened? Check back in replay mode. It was this guy. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I should have took up this position ages ago, but unfortunately I didn't. But hey, at least I was able to get one of them. It's going to be hard to find apexes after this Ramph TLC update, but I'm still going to try to look for some after this. And I'll make sure I post it as well, because Iggy can hold its own against apexes quite well, especially in a confrontation like this.